TIFU, by cock-blocking myself because of my choice of underwear. This happened a few days ago. I had been talking and meeting a Tinder date and everything was going well, the vibe was good between us, and we decided to have some fun. After some foreplay, she undressed and I start to undress too. But when I took off my pants, I heard her do kind of a nervous laugh. I asked what was the matter, and she says, "You don't seriously wear that, right?" The problem was that I had Raving Rabbids boxers that my mom gifted to me because she thought it was funny. I asked her what's wrong with them, and she said that she didn't want to do it with a man-child and that she wanted to leave. I was quite shocked because I didn't think there was anything wrong with them, although in retrospect, it is pretty childish. So she put her clothes back on, left, and blocked me. TLDR. I wore Raving Rabbids underwear and my date left when she saw them. TIFU, by conquering my anxiety. This happened on Monday, not today. But before that, I have always had pretty bad anxiety when it comes to paired work back in school. Whenever a teacher said, "Go and find a partner," I would always get filled with a sense of dread. It was the fear of trying and not getting anyone or rejection, etc. So I would just not do anything until I was the last one. For the sake of privacy, I won't be spilling too many specifics. I am a college student. One of my classes is only once a week, on Mondays and 3 hours long. Across the room a few weeks ago, I noticed a very pretty individual, but thought nothing of it because I wasn't going to do anything. But she definitely is extremely good-looking to me and seemingly very intelligent. Turns out this weekly class has a paired project. Familiar and old feelings set in, but this time I had the courage to finally nip it in the bud and just go for it. I can't let this feeling dominate me in college. There is an older man in the room that really seemed about his business with the class. I figured that due to his apparent age and maturity and willingness to get the project done quickly, he would be the pick. So across the room, we both offered to pair up and it was done. This man is now my partner for the project. Just a few minutes later, the woman walks back into the room. She was out for a bit. And to her seat. Another minute passes and she slowly shuffles up to me, past everyone else, and asks if I have a partner. Jesus fucking Christ. I said no. She understands and walks off and finds another partner after. I check if she's fine after and she gives a very warm smile. I yelled profanities in my head as I smiled back, while my mind told me, "It's not your fault. You just wanted to complete the work and conquer your anxiety." While it was clear to me that I would have rather waited. Again, this class is a once-a-week thing, and the project is semester-wide, so it was a great opportunity for my extremely shy self to get a foot in the door, at most for now, not looking to be oppressive. Older man does sit next to her, so I could take that as an opportunity, but it requires finesse on my part, as I see it, and I am just very bad with these things. It was never much in the first place, so I might just hold it. Figured the story is pretty mild and funny, but again, I'm definitely very displeased LOL. TLDR. I decided to get over social anxiety in class, which immediately bit me in the ass because if I did nothing like usual, the benefit would have been much greater. TIFU, by saying congratulations to a coworker I unexpectedly saw at my OB's office. This just happened 5 minutes ago, and I'm cringing so hard at myself in the waiting room. My wife and I are expecting a baby, and we're at the OB right now. And one of my coworkers, who works in another department and we don't really know each other that well, is here. She's not visibly pregnant, and my awkward ass makes eye contact with her, and we both kind of awkwardly wave and say hi, and I blurt out, "Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Congratulations." And she shrugs at me and awkwardly laughs and looks away. And then she gets called back, and I realize I don't even know if she's really pregnant. She could just be here to see the gynecologist, or because she's dealing with infertility, and even if she is pregnant, what if it's not good news? What if she doesn't want to be congratulated? I'm so fucking awkward, OMG. I will be cringing about this interaction for so long, I hate myself. TLDR summary. I stupidly congratulated a coworker for a pregnancy I don't even know she has and have shoved my foot so far down my throat. I want to cry. Edit. I appreciate all the comments empathizing with how utterly stupid I feel about this situation. Believe me, I understand how massively screwed up it was to say what I said, and if I had even paused for half a second to think before spewing word vomit, I never would have said it. Also, to all the people assuming I am a man, my wife and I are both women, and this is my gyno too, LOL. Not sure if that makes my stupidity worse or better, but take with that info what you will. TIFU by lying about my grades. Title sounds lame, but I'm shaking as I type and trying not to throw up, so bear with me. I'm a first year at college and have been struggling with it a lot. Not only do I hate the major, I'm a huge procrastinator and have trouble concentrating. I have 7 finals, but I need 5 to pass this year and get into the second. So here's where I fucked up. My parents are very strict and kind of controlling, so I usually hide a lot of stuff away from them and tell half-truths. Well, this time, I lied about passing 4 of the 5 finals I need. I was talking with friends when my mom asked to see my student card, which is empty, and check my grades. I panicked and said nothing is written there since we switched to online, which is true. But then she asked to see over laptop. This resulted in an argument where I said I forgot my password and couldn't log in, but promised I'd bring her a filled-in student card tomorrow after my final. Of course, I could fill it up, which my friend pointed out might be illegal. But even so, if she checked online, she'd find nothing has been passed yet. So now I'm panicking and thinking of just running away rather than telling them the truth. I think they'll disown me, most definitely. Not trust me anymore, which makes sense and might kick me out. I'm pretty sure they'll also not enroll me into the second year. Let me try this year again at a different college because they're paying for it. I'm honestly so lost and don't know what to do. My friend said I should come clean and talk with them, but I know they'll curse me out. Probably kick, slap, and maybe even kick me out. And disown me, like I said. I dug my grave, but now I don't know how to get out I just don't know what to do. I've never really used Reddit before, but my friend said I should post here, so I did. I hope I did everything correctly. Advice is appreciated a lot. TLDR. I lied about my grades in college for a month, and now my parents are on the brink of finding out. TIFU by brushing cat hair off of a lady at church. This happened when I was 15 and I'm 26 now, but I will remember this until the day I die. It's hands down my biggest foot-in-mouth moment so far. It was a brisk October evening and my church was having a potluck. My father was the minister, so attendance was mandatory at all the functions. I generally looked forward to these events because I love talking to the elderly. They always have good stories and life advice, you know? Well, Mrs. L was not exception. I was sitting with her and her husband, and she struck up a conversation with me about how they'd just gotten a cat. She was telling me how beautiful he was and showing me some pictures of him and just going on and on about her new little gray cat. Now, by this point, I'm sure some of you can guess where this is going. Mrs. L had been battling cancer for years off and on. She would go into remission, then it would come back. I'm not quite sure what type of cancer she had, but she had been in remission at this point for a while. Long enough that all of her hair had come back from chemo and was beautifully styled. Eventually, it came time to go, and we all stood up. Mrs. L was wearing a beautiful shawl on top of a black outfit. When she took her shawl off and turned around, I noticed that her back was covered in cat hair. I asked her to wait one moment and started brushing the hair off her back. She asked what I was doing with a sort of worried tone. When I replied, I said, "Mrs. L, it looks like you sat on your sofa, and now you're covered in cat hair." She immediately busted out in sobs. Her husband came running over and asked what was wrong. She was inconsolable. Turns out she was no longer in remission. She had recently started a new round of chemo to treat the even more aggressive kind of cancer she had developed. The cat hair I was brushing off of her was actually her hair that had started falling out again in clumps. She hadn't told anyone at church yet, besides my father and a couple of the other men in leadership roles. To say I felt bad is an understatement. She got incredibly sick after that night, and I only saw her a few more times before she eventually lost her battle with cancer. I apologized, but it still will haunt me until my final breath. TLDR, brushed cat hair off a lady at church only to find out it was her hair falling out after chemo. TIFU by urinating outside I-33F. Live in the beautiful San Joaquin Valley in sunny central Cali. As the seasons switch from summer to autumn, the sunrises get more beautiful. Unfortunately, I'm either asleep or working when the sun is rising, and so I can never get good shots of the sunrise. Today, however, after finishing a drive to Northern California and back before 5 a.m., I decided today would be the day. So I picked up my dog, we stopped at Starbucks, and we drove out into the country. Eyes ever on the horizon, I went looking for the best spot to pull over, that best spot being away from the orchards and tall trees and the distraction of busy traffic. 6 miles east of Chowchilla, where I could get a mostly clear shot of the mountains and foothills. It was nearly an hour's drive to get out there, and by the time I got pulled over, the sky was already a soft pink. I got a few shots of the pink and violet sky when I had the urge to piss. I was out in the country, not a toilet in sight, and I didn't want to miss the sunrise. So looking around at the barren road, I dropped trow and let it go. Unfortunately, I forgot one small, annoying detail. I was in the country, on a country road, near fields, with canals full of water. They descended as a swarm, hundreds ready to devour, drawn in by the ammonia. My spot was now compromised by mosquitoes, and as I did the chicken dance to get them off, more came around. My poor dog even had them swarming around him. Frustrated, I climbed back into my car and moved locations, going a quarter-mile down the road, relinquishing my perfect spot to the mosquitoes, itchy and irritated all over from the numerous bites. In the new spot, I still got several gorgeous shots of the sun making his ascent into the sky, catching the way the sun's rays cast themselves between clouds and contrasted with the shadows. Even got the sunbeams as they reached towards me. The pictures were gorgeous. TLDR. Mosquitoes are attracted to ammonia. TIFU by asking a builder if he wanted his photo taken. Was just walking the dog back from the beach. Beautiful sunshine, lovely day, enjoying life. Saw a guy taking a picture of his truck outside a house. Thought, oh, that's nice. Must be his first day or something. So wanting to be friendly and sociable, I ask him, "Hey mate, do you want me to take a picture of you with your truck?" He looks at me weirdly and says, "No, I'm just proving I made this delivery." Oh yeah, that makes more sense. Absolutely mortified. He was a big burly builder as well. FFS. I couldn't walk away fast enough with my bright red face. I'm still cringing now. I bet he can't wait to tell his manly builder mates about the creepy guy who offered to take his picture. TLDR. Asked a builder if he wanted a picture with his lovely truck, but he was just making a delivery. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.